Hey guys, it's Licious Kid from ClimaxCombo, and we're back with another Leaks of the Week. I know this video is really late. This week is going to be October 5th to October 9th, so about 2 weeks late. And I do apologize for this, but for the past 3 weeks, I've just been really busy with school. If you guys are in college, I'm sure you guys do know that around this time is midterms. And I had a bunch of midterms last week, and I'm still really busy with school this week. I still have exams, group projects, and essays. So I shouldn't be doing this video. But I need a break, and I know I'm really late on this, and I really do want to do Cinderella Girls because I'm really interested in the set. So yeah, I shouldn't be doing this, but whatever, I'm going to be doing this. And yeah, the entire list is out, so you guys can find that online if you guys so please. It's been out since October 16th, so not much of a leaks of the week since all the cards have been leaked. So like I said, I really do apologize, but I haven't really looked into this set just because, like I said, I've been really busy. I haven't looked at the full list. I haven't seen any builds. I haven't seen what people are talking about, etc., etc. So for me, it's still fairly new, and so I'm still gonna treat it like it's a leaks of the week. So yeah, with that out of the way, I guess let's get started, and hopefully I can do this pretty fast so I can go back to studying. But anyways, first off, 3295 double R Moroboshi Kirari music and happy happy of course. And she's a pretty good card in my opinion. She has a continuous ability of during your own turn. If all your characters have music trait, she gains plus 2k, so she will be 3 to 11-5 before assist, which is pretty good. She has an on-play ability. When she's played from hand to stage, you can pay cost, which is 2. If you do, choose one of your characters and get the following ability until the end of the turn, where the ability can only be activated once. When the damage of this card is cancelled, deal 1, so that character gains Flare Trigger. And she has another on-play ability of this ability can only be activated once per turn. When the damage of this card is cancelled, you may deal 1. So she has Flare Trigger as well, on top of the pay to give another character Flare Trigger. Oh, it's not it's not another character, it's any character. That's cool. But anyways, this card, I'm sure you guys are familiar. She's very similar to the Yamato Kai in Contact Collection, and the Yamato Kai has been proven to be a pretty good card. If Contact Collection runs yellow, you really shouldn't be surprised if if you see the Yamato Kai, because it's a really good game ender and a really good card. Although a bit heavy, nonetheless still very good. And this Kirari is pretty much the same. She has the two important effects of the Flare Trigger and the ability to give Flare Trigger. Very powerful. So I think this Kirari is going to be good. The Yamato Kai is already pretty good, and so this Kirari shouldn't be an exception. And I think it's also really good because last week we saw a lot of good yellow level 0 cards. We saw the Riki clone in the media, and we saw the runner with Mika, or was it Rika? Yeah, we saw the Rika runner, and those two cards alone make it very easy to splash in yellow. So you can just run a tricolor deck. You could just run those level 0 media and a couple level 0 runners, and then you could easily splash in yellow into any build because those two cards are just really powerful. And so with those two cards, it's really easy to splash in yellow. So it should be really easy to splash in Kirari into any of your Idolmaster Cinderella Girls, to be completely honest, just because, like I said, it's really easy to splash in yellow. And since it's really easy to splash in yellow, it should be really easy to splash in Kirari into any Cinderella Girl deck build. So I think that's another plus to this card, just because of how easy splash in yellow. I think that makes this card. I think this card's playability increases dramatically just because, like I said, I think it's too easy to splash in yellow in this set. So yeah, overall, I think Kirari is really good. I wouldn't be surprised if people play her, but as we've seen so far, there's a lot of good level 3s in Idolmaster Cinderella Girls already. So will Kirari fit the cut? I think she's pretty good. But there are a lot of other good level 3s we've seen so far, like Anastasia, Anzu, Ranko, even the Miku's really good. So a lot of good level 3s already. Will she make the cut? I don't know. We'll just have to see. But I wouldn't be surprised if I've seen people play her, because I do think she is pretty good and definitely really easy to splash in. So yeah, I guess another factor to consider is how easily the deck can build stock. Because this, like I said, this is a pretty heavy ability, 2 for herself and 2 for her ability, so it's like you're paying 4. So really heavy. So it also depends on how well the deck can maintain stock. But I think it can do that just fine. So we'll have to see. But nonetheless, like I said, I really do think Kirari is a pretty good card. Let's go on to Anzu. Of course, can't have Kirari without Anzu. 105KR. And this is, of course, the SR version. So, promotion mode, Anzu, music, and candy, of course. She combos with the 2K1 right here, the normal version and the hollow version. So when this card declares an attack with the climax, the result of her seriousness, aka the 2K1, you can pay cost, which is 1. If you do, all your characters gain the following ability until the end of the turn, where when this card reverses its opponent in battle, you may choose one character in your waiting room and return it to your hand. Anzu is not bad, kind of fitting of her character. She makes her teammates do the hard work for her, and Anzu just chills and relax. So I think that's pretty funny. But anyways, I think it's a pretty decent climax combo. The 2K1, of course, breaks even, which is nice. And when you play the 2K1, well, first Anzu has to attack. So Anzu attacks first, you pay the 1, and then you choose your other 2 characters. And then when they kill something, you can, of course, salvage a card in your waiting room and add it to your hand. I think it's pretty good. If both your characters are able to reverse your opponent's character, then you do you +2, because since the 2K1 breaks even, you +2. Even if just one of your other characters reverse their opponent, you do +1, so you're kind of like paying 1 to +1, which isn't too bad at all. So I definitely think this Anzu has pretty decent potential, just because she can potentially +2, and most of the time she should at least be able to +1, which is really good, like I said. So Anzu, I think, is really good. I guess her only downside is that she has to attack first, so you can't really like pay out climaxes, because she's forced to attack first, unless, of course, the last stock at the start of your battle phase is a climax, but you can't like attack with another character first. If that character triggers a climax, attack with Anzu. You can't really do that since she has to attack first most of the time for you to benefit, but nonetheless, a small downside. So I think it's fairly solid, and she's only an R, and I definitely think she's a solid R. So yeah, I think it's pretty good. Potential chance to +2. I think a lot of paying 1 to potentially +2, and most of the time at least plussing 1. I think that's really good. So yeah, overall a good day for Monday. On to Tuesday, we got 001500s. Hoshi Syoko. I don't remember her in the anime. Actually, I think I do. Anyways, music and mushrooms. So what she does is she has a continuous ability where for every marker underneath this card, this gains +2k. How she gains her marker is you can put her to rest. If you do, place the top card of your deck to the bottom of this card and serve it as a marker. Hoshi, I'm not really digging this card. I mean, essentially she can hit infinite power. You can just keep this card in the back row all day, and you can just keep tapping her and then just keep generating markers. And if all those markers are clean, then you've gotten yourself a really strong compress going on. But still, the downsides are you don't really know what you're putting underneath Hoshi unless you constantly play top checkers. And even if you are doing this, you are sacrificing a spot in your back row for her just so you can put markers underneath her. And I think it's just too much work. And even though she can have potentially infinite power, she is still a level 0, so she is always going to lose to a level 0 Suicider. So I guess it's funny, it's cute what they're trying to do, but not a fan of this. I think you're better off running better level 0s that can either A, be a better beater in the front row, or B, be a better assist, or have more utility in the back row, like a brainstorm or an assist. So you know, if you wanted to build a million markers in your back row, just play Devil Survivor 2, because Hibiki is the king of markers. So, yeah, unfortunately, I don't recommend this card. Next up, we have a fairly interesting pair of Rankos, 104K. This is the same Ranko. This is the R, this is the SR. And she has a little wombo combo with the next Ranko, which is this is the SR version, and this is the R version. So we have, first of all, the Black Fallen Angel Ranko. Music and Darkness, of course. So what she does is when this card is played from your hand to your stage, if you have 2 or more other, I'm assuming that's music, because it has to be music. If you have 2 or more other music characters, this card gains +2/5 power. Actually, let's just double check. Yeah, definitely music. I could recognize the 2 kanji from there. But anyways, if you have 2 more music characters, gains +2/5 power, which is really easy. And she has a change. During the start of your opponent's draw phase, you can pay cost, which is put this card to the waiting room. If you do, choose one pure white Angel Ranko from your waiting room, which is of course the next card we're going to talk about. from your waiting room and play it onto the original border of this card, and that card gains plus 2/5 power until the end of the turn. The pure white angel uncle is this card right here, 105k Music and Darkness, of course. And she has a change ability where at the beginning of your climax phase, you can pay cost, which is put it to waiting room. If you do, choose one, the black fallen angel uncle, which is her, from your waiting room and place it onto the original border of this card. And yeah. So I think Bushiroad has kind of been doing this for the last couple of sets now. They've had this weird like card. They have like cards that change, that are in the same level, that change into each other. Like Shining Resonance had the 1-0 that comboed with the other 1-0. I forgot her name now. Kiria? Yeah, the level 1 Kiria that changed to level 1 Kiria. To Lovely Darkness had the level 0 Yami with the other level 0 Yami. And Charlotte had the Yusa to the Misa, or Yusa to the Mika. Yusa to the sister? I don't remember the sister's name, but yeah, they had the sisters changing to each other. So maybe every series is going to get something like this. And I wasn't really a fan of those wombo combo changers just because I thought it was too much work. But this Ranko is actually a little different. I think this one's actually pretty good. So I think ideally you want to start off with the White Angel first, because the White Angel changes during your climax phase. So during your climax phase, you change into the Black Fallen Angel Ranko from your waiting room. When you do change into the Black Ranko from your waiting room, specifically when she's played from your waiting room to your stage, she gains plus 2/5 power. So she'll be a 6/5 when you play her from your waiting room to your stage. Then during the start of your opponent's draw phase, assuming she survives, then you get to change her into the White Angel Ranko, and she gains plus 2/5 power until the end of the turn. So the White Angel Ranko will be 7/5 power. So it's like you're switching from a 6/5 power to a 7/5 power. So 6/5 on offense essentially, and 7/5 on defense. So not too shabby. I definitely think this is one of the better like changer sort of deal, just because like they actually have pretty decent numbers. Like this one is a 6/5 and this one is a 7/5, and yeah, kind of sucks if you don't have the White Angel in your hand and you have to start with the Black Angel Ranko, then it's not as good, because the Black Angel Ranko her first ability doesn't activate from hand to stage, so you don't get the power boost. So for a turn, you're left with a 1-0 wimpy 4k, and then you have to wait till the end of your opponent's turn. So on play, she's really weak, and then during your own attack phase, she's really weak as well, because she doesn't change until the beginning of your opponent's draw phase. So it sucks if you start off with the Black Angel, but if you start off with the White Angel, it's actually not too shabby. So yeah, but I don't know. Even though you have like a 1-0-6/5 on offense and a 1-0-7/5 on defense, I personally think it's just still too much work. I think you're better off with like just better, or just more cards with utility that aren't so reliant on one another. And yeah, like for blue, what do we have right now? We have the 1-0 Anastasia that combos, not the 1-0 Anastasia, the 1-0 what's that girl? The other girl in Love, like Minato. I don't remember her name, but we have the girl that the 1-0 girl that gets 500 per on play from hand to stage. That's already a pretty good 1-0 beater. And if you're running blue, I don't think it's a bad idea running her, just because she combos with a 3-2 Anastasia. So I don't know. I think this can work out, but if one part of like, okay, let's say Ranko changes to, let's say the White Angel changes to the Black Angel, and then the Black Angel's only, like, even though 6/5 is not bad for a costless character, if she dies, then it just kind of sucks, because then you can't really change into this, and the next turn you're forced to kind of play a slow game again. So it kind of puts you far behind if one of these characters die, and they hit pretty decent numbers, but it's not like the numbers they hit is astronomical. Changing into White Ranko is pretty good, because a 1-0-7/5 on defense is pretty strong for no cost, but on offense, like, defense is pretty good, but on offense, she's only a 1-0-6/5 still. And a lot of decks can be 1-0-6/5 without much effort, like Love Live, 1-0-6/5 Eddie, To Lovely Darkness, 1-0-6/5, what's her name? Mikan. On offense, we have something like those 1-0 Rins, the 1-0 Maki, the 1-0 Kiritos that are 7/5 on offense, and then we have those 106Ks with Clock Encore like Sinon and Onodera. So I think you're just better, like, it's cool, and I think it can work out, but I think I'm better off with cards that are stronger on their own and aren't so reliant on each other. So yeah. But I think definitely this is a good step, because those other wombo combos that like involve changing one character to another character of the same level, like the one in Shining Resonance and the one in Two Level Darkness, I don't think those were that good. But this one's definitely much better than those. So maybe, it's a small step, but slowly but surely, maybe they'll make this more playable, and maybe in the future we'll have better cards with the same theme of changing from a character of the same level to another character of the same level. Because definitely this is a step up from the other ones, but I still don't think it's good enough. So maybe a little later down the road, this will be the meta, and because they'll make it a lot better. But right now, I don't think it's too good. So yeah. But I could be wrong. I think it could have potential. I think it has potential, but it's not. I personally don't like cards like this, but I do think it has potential. So maybe we'll see. Man, I've ranted about them for quite some time. But anyways, last card for Tuesday, 0025 uncommon, Shirasaka Koyume, Koyume. Anyways, music and occult. What she does is she can pay one. She has this act ability, so you can do this during your main phase. You can pay one, put this card to rest, then search your deck for up to one Shirasaka Kome, which is herself, and play it onto any border on your stage. Shuffle your deck, and until the end of the turn, and at the end of the turn, send that character to the waiting room. I definitely don't think this is worth it. I think you're better off playing like a regular searcher. Like, isn't there a producer searcher already? I don't remember. It's been too long since I did the last leaks of the week, but I'm pretty sure they already have a 001500 searcher in the producer. Even if they don't, I think you're better off running better other cards, because A, she's really weak, or A, yeah, her stats aren't terrible, but they're not that good. Her stats aren't that good. For her to be effective, you have to run multiple of her, and like I said, she's not that good, so running multiple of her isn't that good of an idea. And you have to pay one, and then you put her to rest. It's like, I guess it can be okay at level 0, but like later stages of the game, you're sacrificing a slot for this Kome to bring out another Kome, which is not good. So I definitely don't recommend this. Just play better level 0s, and as we know, Cinderella Girls has a ton of really good level 0s, like runners and 00 searchers, or 00 Riki clones, and yeah, you're just better off with those. Anyways, let's go on to the day of Candy Island. Today we have Candy Island with us on stage. Let's enjoy their performance. Yes, let's do so. So 3-2 10k double R Okata Chieri, music and Clover. Pretty cute. Anyways, what she does is she has a continuous ability. If you have 3 or more music characters, this card gains plus 1k power, so she'll be 11k before assist. She has an auto ability of when this card is placed down from your hand to your stage, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is a character containing music trait, you may deal 1 damage to your opponent. And of course, this damage can't be cancelled. And lastly, she combos with Happy X2 Days, which is the gate right here, the normal version, the triple R version, and the SR version. So she combos with the gate, so when you play the gate, and this card is in your front row, you can select up to 2 red characters on your stage. The selected characters gain plus 4k power until the following effect, where this card may not be reversed by your opponent's auto abilities. Chieri, I think, is pretty good, mainly for the fact of her second ability. We've seen a lot of cards like these now. There's like the Shin-chan level 3, right? I believe the Shin-chan level 3 does this. The Shin-chan level 3, the Umi level 3 from Love Live, and Momo from Two Level Darkness all have the ability from when they're played from hand to stage, reveal top. If it's the same trait as them, deal 1 damage. Pretty good card. The best part I think about these is that they get past anti-damage, since your opponent can't anti-damage them when they're being played from hand to stage, which I think is a huge plus. And of course, another good thing about Chieri is that all characters are music in this set, so if you hit any character, she deals 1. Unlike Momo, where you need an alien-centric deck for her to work, Chieri, you can just run her in any deck, because all the characters are music, so another plus to that. And she's 11k on all. She's 11k if you have 3 more red characters, which is easy enough. If you're running a red heavy deck, then it should be fairly easy to do. Haven't seen Actually, yeah, red has some pretty good cards actually. So I was gonna say we haven't seen that many good red cards, but red is actually pretty good so far. So I'm gonna take back that statement. So can be 11k on offense and on defense. There are three more red characters, and even if you don't have like if you even if you don't meet her first condition, like if you're just splashing red, Cherry is still not too bad because she's still 10k base. So even if you don't meet the first requirements of her, I still think she's totally playable just because she still has the base power of a regular level 3, and she still burns one on play. So I think even if you're not running like a red heavy deck, I still totally think you could run Chieti in any build just because her on play is really good. And lastly, her climax combo, it's a little, I mean, it's okay, but it's just kind of awkward. Um, Combos with the gate, and comboing with gate is always pretty good just because gate is super versatile and is still probably the best trigger. Even though there's anti-salvage, gate is still really good. So combos with the gate, which is versatile all points of the game. However, her climax combo is it's okay, but it's a little wonky. You select up to two red characters, and they gain plus 4k power until the end of the turn, which is huge. That's like probably the best part. So it gives them 4k power, but do keep in mind the gate is a 1k 1 soul, so it technically gives 5k power. But this is the weird part. This card can and they gain the following effect of they can't be reversed by opponent's auto ability, so they can't be suicided into. It's kind of like what? Why do they have this effect? Why do they have this effect? Like, that's not really relevant at level 3. I don't know, that's the part that kind of throws me off. But nonetheless, they still gain 5k power essentially, which is a huge amount of power. Do keep in mind you can give it to Chieti herself, because any two red characters. So you can give it to Chieti herself, which is quite awesome. So Chieti can potentially, like if you meet the first requirement, she'll be 11k, and then you play the 1k 1 soul, she'll be 15. No, 15, 16, yeah, she'll be 16k on offense, which is pretty ridiculous. She can probably run over everything, mostly everything, except something like Devil Homura. So she can kill most things, which is pretty awesome. But the downside to this is that you have to play a 1k 1 soul. If you're playing a 1k 1 soul climax combo at level 3, I think the climax combo has to be really strong because overswinging for 1 soul is not always the best idea, because it gives your opponent a higher chance to cancel. But it's not that bad of an idea if the 1k 1 soul is being complemented by a really good climax combo like Yami from To Love Darkness or Sinon from Sword Art Online. So if it's something like that, then I think it's understandable. However, this climax combo only gives power, which isn't bad. Like, reversing all your opponent's character is always really good, but is it worth overswinging by an extra soul on all your characters to get this ability off? Potentially at times, Weiss Schwarz, it's really hard to judge Weiss Schwarz just because there's so many different scenarios in Weiss Schwarz. Usually almost every card game, there's like a million different situations in every part of the game. So it's like debatable, like would you want to overswing by 1 soul with all your characters to reverse your opponent's character? Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? Who knows? Really up to the situation. But that is like the main downside to this climax combo: the fact that it doesn't game end, and the fact that you have to overswing by 1 soul. But nonetheless, I think Chieti is a really good card just because of her on-play ability and the fact that she combos with the gate, and she can potentially wipe your opponent's character field, and she has a pretty good shot of being 11k base. So overall, Chieti, definitely think she's double R worthy, and I think she's going to be a good card, and I definitely wouldn't be surprised if I see her ran in any Cinderella Girls deck, because, like I said, I think she's really good. Next up, I guess the upside to this combo is that there are other characters that combo with the same gate. So 215k are Candy Island Kanako. She is a level assist in front, which is always great, and she also combos with the gate. When you play the gate, select one character, and the selected character gains the following ability on the end of the turn, where this character, when this character's battling opponent is put into reverse, you may choose up to one card from your opponent's waiting room and put it on top of the deck. Pretty good. She is a level assist, and that alone makes her playable. And her second effect is actually not too bad. It doesn't cost any stock, and all you have to do is play the gate. And like I said, gate, fantastic climax. So you play the gate, and you give the character the ability to top deck or put a card in your opponent's waiting room to the top deck when they reverse an opponent's character. Most of the time, you should at least have one character being able to reverse your opponent's character. Most of the time that is the case, unless you're playing against like Nisekoi, and then at level 2 they play like triple Onodeta, and then if you don't have an answer, you're just kind of screwed all at level 2. But most of the time, you should at least be able to kill at least one opponent's character, and if you do, you can put an opponent's card in the waiting room to the top of the deck, which is always really good. Of course, the obvious synergy is that you combo this with Chieri, because Chieri gives a huge amount of power. So that makes it really easy to reverse your opponent's character, and thus you can get Kanako's ClimaxCombo off successfully. But even without Chieri, I think Kanako is really good, just because she's level assist, and her ClimaxCombo is pretty good. It's a pretty decent way to push, it's a good way to potentially deal more damage. It's costless, and she's a level assist, and she combos with the gate. So I think there's just a lot of upsides to this card, and so I definitely think if you're running red, and if you're running the gate, I think Kanako is a really strong choice to run as your level assist. So yeah, a really good card. And lastly, Tutu Anzu, 8K, Music and Candy. Probably my least favorite out of the trio today. When she's played from hand to stage, and if you control another Candy Island Kanako and another Candy Island Chieri, you can put the top card of your deck to your stock. She also combos with the gate. When this card is being played from hand to stage, and if you have 3 or more happy days in your waiting room, you can put the top card of your deck to your stock. So she can potentially be free when you play from hand to stage, and if you meet the second requirement, you get a free stock. And if you meet the first requirement, you get a free stock. So you're kind of playing a costless 2-2 if you meet all the requirements. Candy Island Kanako is the level assist, and like I said, I think Candy Island Kanako is really good, so you're not really hurting your deck if you're running Candy Island Kanako. However, we don't know what Candy Island Chieri is, because this is Okata Chieri, and we haven't seen Candy Island Chieri yet, so I'm not too sure who Candy Island Chieri is. So that kind of like puts this card in question. Actually, what are we doing? We have the entire list. Let's look for it. Candy Island Not in the booster? Oh, she must be... Oh, no? Huh. Weird. Okay, I'm not gonna look for it, but we still don't know what the second card is, so it doesn't really... We can't really judge this card properly, but... I'm just gonna say I'm not a huge fan of this card. Even if you play her for free, she's still only 8k. Yeah, she has the 2 soul, which is good, but she's still only 8k, so she's super weak. So really weak. And if you don't meet both the conditions, she's pretty bad. Like if you only meet the second condition, then you have a 2-1 8k, which is not that great. If you only meet the first condition, once again, you're playing a 2-1 8k. Really weak stats. If you don't meet the conditions, if you don't meet both conditions, I should say, she's pretty bad. If you don't meet both conditions, she's horrible. If you only meet one condition, she's okay. If you meet both, she's pretty good. But it's not like you're not going to always meet the conditions. And like I said, she's really bad if you don't meet both conditions. So I think that's like a huge downside to this card. So I don't think you should be running this. I think you're better off playing better level 2s or even level 3s that come out at level 2. Say something like the 3-2 Anzu we saw last week. I think you're better off with playing something like that in red. So I'm not a fan of this card. I think you're better off running better cards. And I think that's it for Wednesday. Yes. Overall, I really like Wednesday. I really like Chieri. And I really like Kanako. Great cards. Anyways, let's go on to Thursday. 0025 Takamori Aiko Music and Camera. What she does is when this card is being placed from your hand to the stage, you can pay cost, which is 1. If you do, during this turn, this card gains +1 soul, and when this turn ends, put this card to your memory. Takamori Aiko, she's okay in my opinion. You can pay 1 when she's playing being played from hand to stage, and then she gains +1 soul, and then she goes to memory until at the end of the turn. If this set was like recollection based, then I think it'd be pretty good. If it was like recollection heavy, like Toaru or Angel Beats, kind of, not really. But if this set was recollection heavy, then I think she'd be pretty good, just because she kind of sends herself off to memory, which is really nice. But this set isn't, and also yellow has a plethora of ways to be splashed into a deck, like I said, the media and the runner. So like yellow, it's really easy to splash in yellow as it is. So I don't think this card is necessary. Like if yellow had no good level zeros to splash in, then maybe question mark you could be running this, but I don't think it's necessary. It's too easy to splash in yellow, and for that reason I don't think you need any more like yellow tech cards. I don't think she does. Like I don't think she's good enough to be used as a tech card. And also, if you want to gain an extra soul, you could play the level 0 Kirari from the TD that gave a soul to a character that's level 1 or higher when it's played from hand to stage. The Kirari is free, and she has a great ability when she's sent from stage to waiting room. So if you wanted the extra soul, you could just play the level 0 Kirari. Yeah, the level 0 Kirari has to target a level 1, but I don't think you want to be pushing for a lot of soul damage at level 0 just because that's generally not a really good idea. So this Aiko, I don't recommend running this card. I think there are way better level zeros you can run, and especially in yellow, I think there's way better level zeros you can run. Next up, we have this pretty funny card, 3017. What is this? Double digits or a number in the tens and the ones place for Weiss Schwarz? What game are we playing? Anyways, Abe Nana, music, and Usamin. During your turn, this card loses 1 level on your stage, so she's -1, which is hilarious. And when this card is placed into reverse during battle, place 1 card from the top of your deck to your stock. If you have done so, place this card to stock. Oh, I'm sorry. Place 1 card from the top of your stock to the waiting room. If you do, place this card to stock. I think this Abe is pretty good. First of all, she's 3017, which is just hilarious in itself. Second of all, she can actually kill Vanilla's power characters just because she has the extra 17, which I just think is hilarious. So she beats over 3Ks, but she loses to 3-5s, which is just weird, but it's funny. So I think the flavor in this card is hilarious. She loses 1 level on your stage, so how does side attacking work? Because if you side attack for 1 soul and 1 minus -1 is +1, so you actually get 2 soul if we do math properly. So technically you gain an extra soul if you side her, right? Actually, I don't know. I'm not too sure how the side attacking works on this card. If you guys, oh no, it's only during your turn. Never mind. It doesn't work. Damn it, that would have been hilarious. But the -1 soul, I'm not too sure why it's here. I assume it's just for flavor. So if you guys do know why that's there, let me know. I'm not too sure if this is some kind of flavor that goes along with this character. So if you guys do know, let me know. And oops. And lastly, her second effect is not too bad. When she's put into reverse, you lose the top card of your stock, and she goes to the top of your stock. I think there's a lot of uses for this. It might not sound important just because it's like you're not gaining any stock and you're not losing any stock, so technically you're not really being hurt in any shape or form. But this Abe can potentially pay out a climax. Like let's say you attack with her, you trigger a climax. Next turn, if she dies, you essentially pay out that climax, and you get to put in Nana instead of that climax, which is really great. Also, you might have triggered it. She can not only pay out climaxes, but she can also pay out like key cards in your deck. Like let's say you trigger an event, a really important event. Oh well, next turn, if she dies, then Nana can just pay out that climax or pay out that event, and it goes back to your waiting room, and Nana just gets put instead. Putting Nana into your stock, not too bad of an idea, just because you don't really care if you see her late game, just because she's not that good. Also, if you're running if you trigger like a key level 3, then you can also pay that out for free with Nana, which is great. Like if you're only running 2 Chiaris, and then first turn you trigger 1 Chiari, then it's like, oh great, you either have to pay that out next turn, or you're forced to only play with one Chieri for the rest of the deck. But Nana can essentially pay that out if she triggered the Chieri and then she dies next turn. So I think that's really cool. So I like Abe a lot. I think her flavor is hilarious, and she has the potential to pay out key cards in your stock for free, and I think that's just really great. I believe she's 3017 because I think she claims to be age 17 forever. I think that's what it was, right? If I'm wrong, do correct me on why she's 3017, but I do believe it's because she claims to be 17 for now and forever. Anyways, let's go on. 108K Hino Akane. I really don't remember this character. Music and Hot Blood. She has a continuous ability of where this card cannot declare a side attack, and she has an auto ability of at the start of your encore phase, place this card to your waiting room. So yeah, she's way oversized, level 1. She's a 108K, which is just huge, but of course her downside is she cannot side attack, and of course at the start of your encore phase, she gets placed to your waiting room. So she's kind of like a level 1, she's kind of like a suicider just because she dies at the end of your turn. So in that sense, you can kind of think of her as a level 1 suicider in yellow, which is pretty interesting. So this Akane, I don't think it's that great, just because she dies at the end of the turn. So it's like kind of like, oh, bummer. And she's not really a level 1 suicider because if your opponent backs up against her, then the opponent character lives, unlike a normal level 1 suicider. But so like that being said, I'm not a bit too big of a fan of this card, just because like I said, she's not really a suicider, but she kind of acts like one. Like she kills herself, but in the process you might not kill an opponent's character. Yeah, like a normal suicider. So yeah, I'm not too big of a fan of this card. But she is only a common, and I think she's an interesting common, and so for that reason, I think it's a cool common. But I think you're better off with running better level ones, just because level ones that can stay on the field and can generate you more advantage. Because next turn you're going to be taking more damage when Akane dies. So yeah. Anyways, let's go on. 2-1, 2-5 backup Mayu music. I don't remember her either. I don't remember any of these other girls. Anyways, what she does is she's a 2-5 backup. And next, when you use her backup, you can pay the additional cost of pay 2 and send one of your characters from stage to waiting room. If you do, select one opponent's character whose level is higher than your opponent's level and send it to the waiting room. So anti-change. Anti-change, always good to have. If your set has anti-change, you might as well tech 1 or 2, just because so many decks play level 3s at level 2. It's really versatile and can usually be good in a lot of matchups. So yeah, if you have anti-change, run it, and this should be no exception. I would recommend running 1 or 2 of these Mayus just because the anti-change is really good. The benefit or another upside to this card is the cost for this anti-change. You have to pay 2 and send one of your characters from stage to waiting room. So it's exactly like the Nisekoi one, the Chitoge one, and that one is really good because the fact that you had to send one of your characters from stage to waiting room sounds like a bad thing, but in some situations it can be a really good thing. You can dodge on reverse abilities like clock shooting, and you can reverse double attacking that are dependent on reversing an opponent's character, and you can also just kill off one of your own characters and force your opponent to push for more soul at late game. Like if you're at 3-6, it's like shit, I'll just kill off one of my own characters, and so that way when he attacks me, he has to attack directly. So it can work like that as well. So yeah, really good anti-damage or anti-change backup. So excellent card. Next up, 002K Sasaki Chie, music trait. During your opponent's turn, this card gains plus 2K. Nothing fancy. Really weak on offense, pretty strong on defense, but I think you could be running better level 0s than this. Actually, we don't know all the blue level 0s yet, so I mean, for a common, she's definitely not bad, but we'll just have to see. Yeah, pretty good common, but hopefully they'll have better things than this. Next up, 002K Kamijo Haruna, music and classes. When this card is played from hand to stage, select another character you control. During that turn, that card gains plus 1500 power and the glasses trait. The glasses trait is pretty much just for flavor. We haven't really seen anything that's dependent on the glasses trait, so you can pretty much think of this as an on play, give a character plus 1500 power, which isn't too bad. So I think if you need to splash more blue level zeros, I think this Haruna can be a pretty good choice just because she's an on play 1500 power, or on play plus 1500 power, which is a pretty respectable amount of power. So not too shabby, especially for a common. Definitely not a shabby level 0 blue. If you feel like you need an extra 1 or 2 blue cards in your level 0 lineup, maybe consider 1 or 2 Harunas, because I don't think it's too bad. Lastly, the last day. Not level 3s this time, but double R, and of course, it's new generation. So 00 double R music trait, of course, Shimamura Uzuki. That smile though. Anyways, what she does is when this card is placed from hand to stage, place the top 2 cards of your deck to the waiting room. If there are any climaxes amongst those cards, put this card to rest. And during the start of your opponent's attack battle phase, you can move this card to an empty slot on your center stage, which has an opponent's character in front of you. So Uzuki, I think it's pretty good, seeing as how in today's metas, there's just so many runners. Like a lot of series have runners, and a lot of new series are getting runner as well. I swear, like every new set has a runner. Well, To Love Through Darkness didn't. Actually, they did in the Alien build. So yeah, I'm not too sure how relevant that is because the most popular build is the Yami Mikon build. But anyways, still, a lot of new sets are getting runners, and a lot of the strong sets that's out right now have runners. So Uzuki, I think Uzuki's really good. On play, you have to mill top 2. If there's a climax amongst us, you put her to rest. At level 0, it's kind of a bummer if you hit a climax and she goes to rest just because you don't get to attack for the turn, or you have to play another character to attack with for the turn. But still, not the end of the world. Just put her in the back, or just leave her in the front, and that way next turn you can just attack with her. And late game, she acts, or mid to late game, she acts as a free on-play brainstorm that only mills 2. Yeah, you only mill 2, but hey, it's free. So yeah, really can't complain. So early game, she's a pretty good beat stick, sitting at 3-5 power, and the fact that she's so early game she acts as a good beat stick at 3-5, and mid to late game she acts as a free brainstorm. So Uzuki is pretty versatile on all stages of the game, and she's really good against runners because most runners cap at 2k power, 2-5 power, and well, the only exception is the one in To Love Through Darkness, because that one is 3-5 power base because it's To Love Through Darkness. So she runners without any assist, Uzuki can put up a fight against, because if your opponent, on your turn you attack, they run, on their turn you run in front of their runner, and that way they're now forced to side, so they can't or kill themselves, but I don't think they'll be killing themselves because that's not good. So they should probably side Uzuki, you'll take less damage, and you just kind of annoy your opponent's runner with your own anti-runner. So yeah, Uzuki I think is a really awesome card. Uzuki is really cute as well. Really like Uzuki. She's really cute. So overall, I really like this card. Great on play for mid to late game, and a really good early game card with decent power and can be a nuisance for runners. So overall, I really like Uzuki. Of course, the next one in the new generation lineup, 002K Double R, Shibuya Rin music. She's very similar, or if not exactly similar, to the level 0 Maki that is in the School Idol Festival Volume 2 booster. When she's played from her hand to stage, you can pay cost, which is discard a card from your hand to your waiting room. If you do, look at the top 4 cards from your deck, select one blue character among those cards, show it to your opponent, then add it to your hand, then put the remainder to the waiting room. We've seen these Akatsuki clones time and time again. All of them are really good, and this one is no exception. This one only grabs blue characters, so it's not as versatile as the Akatsuki, just because the Akatsuki can grab any character, or the Azusa from the original Idolmaster can grab any character. Of course, this card is not as good because it only can grab blue characters, but as we've seen so far, blue is a pretty damn strong color. They have the level 3 Danko, the level 3 Anastasia, the level 1 Anastasia, or the level 1... I don't even remember her name. The girl that combos with the Anastasia. We have this Lean herself, who's really good. We have the level 0 Lean from the TD, that's really good. Well, is there any other good blue cards? I mean, if you're running this whole wombo combo thing, then this Rin is an excellent way to fuel that, just because you can dump the Black Angel into the, or you can dump the, yeah, you can dump the Black Angel into the waiting room. So this card is a really good way to fuel this climax, or to this fuel this wombo combo. And yeah, overall, blue is just an amazing color. So the fact that blue is so good makes this Rin really good as well. So definitely double R worthy, and definitely if you're running blue, definitely mandatory 3 to 4 of, because this ability is just so good, so good, so good. Anyways, lastly, of course, Mio, 001K double R. Honda Mio. Oh, actually, there's more. Sorry about that. Anyways, 001K double R Mio music trait. She has a continuous ability where the character directly opposite of this may not move to another slot. So an anti-runner, which kind of defeats the purpose of Uzuki, but still anti-runner. But also, when this card is put to reverse and you're battling opponents level 0 or lower, you may place that character to his opponent's stock. If you do, send the bottommost stock to your opponent's waiting room. So Mio, really good. She is a level 0 suicider, but a stock suicider, so she's a yellow stock suicider, and also she's anti-runner, so really good. Like I said, with Uzuki, runners, really good, and runners are really relevant nowadays, and it seems like runners are always going to be relevant just because Bushiroad keeps pumping out new runners. So yeah, really good way to stop them. And she's a stock suicider, so even if your opponent is not running runners, or if they don't have one on the field, you can use it to get rid of level 0s with Encore, and that's really awesome. And also you can get rid of opponents, or you can like dig a climax in their stock deeper into their stock because of how this card works. So, you know, dig climaxes deeper, get rid of Encore, and get rid of runners. Overall, Mio is a really solid card. And she's in yellow, so another really easy way to splash in yellow into your Cinderella Girls build. As if it wasn't easy enough, now it just got even easier. Anyways, my bad, I thought that was the end of this week, but we still have more. So these are the PRs. This is the normal version, the 00R15, and this is the PR, 001500 PR. KBYD Team Yuki. She's really cute. Anyways, what she does is, when this card is placed from your hand to your stage, you can pay cost, which is 1, and discard a climax card from your hand. If you do, choose 1 climax in your waiting room, add it to your hand. Next up, she has an auto ability of you can place 2 of your music characters to rest, select 1 character you control, and during that turn, that character gains plus 2k power until the end of the turn. This Yuki is okay. Her on play is alright. These climax grabbing level 0s aren't that popular, just cause like it's just not that good. But I don't think it's too bad, but it's just not that popular. But she's okay. Her on play is okay. If you really want that climax combo right now, you can do so. Definitely can be useful all stages of the game. If you have a really good level 1 climax combo, just grab it with Yuki. And if you have a really good level 3 climax combo, you could just also grab it with Yuki. But of course, the downside is you have to discard a climax from your hand. If you have the climax that you need, then this Yuki doesn't really do anything. And if the climax isn't in your waiting room, then you can't really use this Yuki. So she's not always live just because you need a climax in the hand, and you need the climax you want in your waiting room for Yuki to be alive. But I think as a tech card, if you run one of her, I think it'd be okay. Especially the sign. If you get a sign, why not tech one? You know, show off that you have the sign. But anyways, her second ability is pretty good as well. Because you can tap 2 of your music characters and give 1 of your music characters plus 2k power. So of course, play her, use her on play ability, tap your back row, and then give another character plus 2k power. Because she doesn't have to tap herself, which is quite nice. So, a pretty decent tech card, just because her first ability can be useful in certain situations, and her second ability should be useful in most situations, since always having extra power is always nice. And she can supply a pretty good chunk of power just by tapping your back row. So Yuki, she's cute and she's okay. So I don't think it's that bad of a card. I think it's okay. It's playable as a tech one of, I'd say. I would only run one of her if you were going to run her. Definitely the signed if you can. Since it's only a box PR, why not? Anyways, let's go on. 102K So what she does is she's a 1k backup, and of course, I'm sure you guys can guess, when you use this backup, if you control a music character, you can choose one of your battling characters and gain plus 1k power. So it's a 102k backup. 102k backups always appreciated. If your set has 102k backups, you might as well run them because 102k backups are as good as it gets, except for Milky Homes, but that's a different story. But still, 102k backups, 102k character backups are as good as they get. If your set has it, you might as well run 2 to 3 or 4 even, just because it's that good. I guess the only downside to this is you can't split it like you can do in an SAO, just because you have to give the battling character plus 1k, but nonetheless, very, very, very good. And last up, this is the final card, now I remember, 3-2 10k R, Takagagi Kaede, music and a mystery. Pretty fitting, she is kind of a mysterious woman. Anyways, what she does is, she has a continuous ability of if this card is in the middle border of your center stage, this card gains plus 1k power per every music character you control. So with a full field, she's what? 14k before assist, which is quite powerful. And next up, she has a pretty interesting second effect. I don't think we've ever seen an effect like this, and I think it's pretty interesting and is very fitting for blue. During your opponent's turn, whenever you did not cancel any damage that is dealt to you, and this card is on your center stage, you can look at the top card of your deck and either place it on top of your deck or put it to your waiting room. Definitely a very interesting card. Her first effect is pretty good. Kind of sucks that you have to leave her in the front row, just cause, or you have to leave her in the middle. Oh, you don't have to leave her in the middle, but it's ideal to leave her in the middle, just cause she'll be 14k base before assist, which is pretty ridiculous. Like, that is just super hard to get rid of. So she has really high power, which is always a plus side. Having high power nowadays is pretty important at level 3 just because you can dodge double attack that are dependent on reverse, and you can dodge clock shooting. So pretty good. But her second effect, I think, is the most interesting, where every time you don't cancel, you can look at the top card of your deck and leave it there or put it to your waiting room. So it's really similar to the other level 3s that have this ability, like the 3-2 Nico, the 3-2 Homuda from the first booster that combos with the Ultimate Madoka, and also the 3-2 Chitoge from the new extra booster, where when they get front attacked, you can look at the top card of your deck and either leave it there or put it to the waiting room. So this card is very similar to those, but it's a bit different because every time you don't cancel, then this effect triggers, which is really, really, really interesting, I think, because every time you don't cancel, your next attack... So if you don't cancel the first attack, the next attack you have has a higher chance of canceling. If the first attack doesn't cancel, and the second attack doesn't cancel, then the third attack has a really high chance of canceling, because at that point, you're looking at the top 2 cards of your deck, and you can, if they're not climaxes, obviously, you put them to the waiting room. So I think that's really interesting, and I think it's really cool. The one that we're all familiar with, like the one with Nico and the one with Chitoge, it's not that popular of an effect just because it doesn't really game end and it doesn't really heal you. It's not a real heal, you know. It increases your chance of canceling, which is really good, but it doesn't give you that, you know, that really good heal when you absolutely need it, you know. So, like, I don't know, this Kaede is only an R. So for an R, I think she's really good, just because of how interesting she is, just because she's 14k in the middle, and the fact that her second ability is, I think, really interesting. But I think you're better off not running this, just because it's not a real game ender. It's not a real, like, healer or a defensive card. Like, it doesn't actually truly heal you. It gives you a higher chance of canceling, yes, but to get the effect off, you have to take damage first. So it's kind of like, kind of a bummer, you know? Like, if you're in a really tight situation, this Kaede isn't going to save you because you have to take damage. You have to take damage first before her effect procs. If you're at 3-0, then it might be pretty good, but if you're like at 3-5 or 3-6, you're still pretty much dead just because Kaede isn't going to do much for you, except have a big booty in the middle of your center stage, which is cool. But still, I think you're better off running better level 3s, especially in blue. Blue has so many good level 3s. We have Ranko and Anastasia, 2 really fantastic level 3s in my opinion. So I think you're better off running those than this Kaede. So yeah, I like it. I like what they're trying to do. I think it's cute. Kaide's pretty hot. She's a mysterious woman, but I think you're better off running better level 3s. Maybe you could tech 1 if you really want to. Maybe give it a try. I haven't ever seen this ability, so I could be wrong. Maybe it's really powerful, but if you're gonna run her, I would say maybe tech 1. Tech 2 at most, I'd say. I would not recommend running more than 2 of this Kaede, but you can run 2 max, I'd say. I guess it'd be hilarious is if you have 3 of these on the field, then you can every time you cancel, you can look at the top 3, which I think is absolutely hilarious. If you have 3 of these, then it could get pretty scary. But if you only have, but you know let's. I think you shouldn't have 3 of these on the front row unless you're running a Kaede waifu deck. But even then, I don't think there's enough Kaede cards to run a Kaede waifu deck. So, like I said, it would be hilarious if you have 3 of these, just because every time you cancel, you could look at top 3. Oh no, yeah, you could look at top 3. You could look at 1, put it to the waiting room. Look at 1, put it to the waiting room. So look at 1 and put it to the waiting room. So you're not really looking at top 3, but it's kind of like you are. It's kind of like you're scrying 3. You're scrying 1 at a time, which can be pretty hilarious. But still, like I said, run better level 3s. And that is all for this video. Damn, 55 minutes. But to be expected. But overall, I think it's a really good week for Cinderella Girls. We've seen a lot of good level 3s, and just a lot of good cards in general that I think have a lot of potential or are really good. Like, I think this Kirari is good and is totally easy to play and totally splashable in any Cinderella Girls, just because I think it's too easy to splash yellow in any Cinderella Girls build. So Kirari definitely has my stamp of approval. I think it's awesome. Anzu, very fitting of her character, and it's pretty good climax combo. So if you have space for red climax combos, I think running a couple of these Anzu wouldn't be too bad of an idea, because I think it's pretty solid. Tuesday, okay. I think this Zanko combo playability goes up by quite a bit with the addition of Rin, but still, I don't know. I think you're better off running. Not personally, not my cup of tea, but I think it does have potential. Definitely think this card is bad. Don't run it. Cherry, I think is a fantastic card. Hanako, I also think is a fantastic card. Anzu, I'm not a big fan of. Aiko, not a fan of. Like, if you really want that one soul, you could just run Kirari instead from the TD. So, not a fan. Abe, pretty hilarious, but pretty hilarious. I'll just leave it at that. I like it. I think it's funny and cute. Hino, Akane, pretty interesting comment, but I say you're better off without it. Anti-damage, or anti-change. If you got it, you gotta run it. So, and this one especially, because you can dodge stuff at level 3. So definitely, I would recommend running it. I don't really like the art on this, though. She's kind of like sweating. Seems like she's having a hard time. I wish it was a little cuter. Don't hate me for saying that if you are Mayu fans, but I think the art could have been cuter on this. Anyways, Sasaki, it's an okay common, but hopefully blue will have better level 0s, like Rin. And Haruna, it's okay. Not a bad level 0 for blue. Lastly, Uzuki, pretty good. Also forgot to mention, she's not only good against runners, she's good against anything at level 0. If your opponent has like a weak level 0, just chill in the front row, like a brainstormer, just chill in the front row trying to attack, just put Uzuki in front of them and then make them side. So Uzuki, really good against runner, but like I said, really good against anything, to be honest. Rin, fantastic card, just because her ability is super strong, and I'm sure we all know blue is already really strong in this set. So another plus to this card just because of how strong blue is. Mio, really good, good suicider, and she's in yellow, so it makes it easier to splash in yellow. So also really good. Yuki, totally player's choice. If you're going to run one, I say run one. Sai, really good. I mean, super good. If you're like, you might as well get a playset of these just because you're gonna run at least of 2 or 4 of these in all your builds. So definitely a good card. Kaede, I like what they're trying to do. I think it's cool, and I like it a lot. But I think you could run better cards. And that is it for this week. Like I said, guys, I do apologize for how late this video is, just because, like I said, I'm really busy. I still have to go back to studying after this. Freaking microbiology, man. Look at this, man. It's just one out of a million PowerPoints I have to memorize. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I should have more time later this week. After Wednesday, after Thursday, I should have a lot more free time. So definitely going to finish up Cinderella Girls this week, which I'm really excited for. So definitely going to finish that up. And definitely we're going to have more videos this week of just match videos, deck profiles, because we're really behind on them. But me and Checkers have just been way too busy. I haven't seen Checkers in like a little over a month now, I think. I think the last time we saw each other was the Two Lovely Darkness box opening. Man, that's a long time. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time.